What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more of The Tourists as we've returned to this greatest hits compilation. And it was interesting in a recent watch along I did over on my Patreon, I think publicly available now, for the Eurythmics 17 Again documentary shot around the time they did the Peace album, which I haven't gotten to yet in my audio journey. But yeah, they talked a bit about The Tourist and how they ended up having a hit with a song that was not really reflective of their sound, and it essentially was the main catalyst in them breaking up, which of course would then be followed by Dave and Annie starting the Eurythmics, and the rest, as they say, is history. But yeah, it was interesting to hear them talk about that. Once again, shout out to Phil for sharing the Eurythmics catalog, Annie's solo catalog, and The Tourist here, which I had started going through a long time ago, and then it was off for a year or two, and now it is back. In any case, the next tune in the playlist is Fool's Paradise. Now, it's not written, at least in the folder here, as a possessive, so I'm wondering, as an editor, as someone who looks at grammar, if there's anything to that. I doubt it. I'm guessing it's just a sort of, colloquial way to write it. But yeah, Fool's Paradise, something which superficially looks like it is a utopia or very desirable, but is in fact anything but, and is a trap or a mistake. It is something which will ultimately not provide the benefit or pleasure that it may seem to at first glance. So I do wonder what will be happening here. It's just a phrase, it's just a concept, and presumably a metaphorical one at that. So let's see what I can catch on a first hearing. This is The Tourist. The song is Fool's Paradise, and it's included in a compilation of their greatest hits provided by Phil.
Feelings may feel like
I love that guitar. Reminds me of like early big country or something. But okay, first of all, I love Annie's vocals here. They're very dynamic and she makes some unexpected choices, but I think they work. And then I also feel like it's a bit more rock sounding, but in terms of the atmosphere and the melody of this track, it feels like it could be a Eurythmics tune, an early Eurythmics song. So, yeah, more so than at least a couple of the other Tourist tunes I've heard so far. I feel like, again, if you made it a bit more keyboard sounding, it feels like it could be early Eurythmics. But yeah, I definitely think she is talking about a place. I mean, she's saying, the city, like referencing the city and what it's like, and, they say it's paved with streets of gold, but she doesn't believe in dreams. So yeah, it feels like, whether you could see it as a place like Hollywood or a place like, New York or London maybe. And the idea that, it's, where all the opportunity is, it's where all the money is, it's where all the connections and the nightlife and the entertainment and so on. But then maybe you get there and it's not so easy to make it, and, there's people who are impediments to finding the success that you want or the enjoyment that you want. So it feels like it may specifically be, I'm going to say, about London, but it could, of course, be about any big city which, may offer much and may seem like a magnet, something that draws people from different smaller places. But then when you get there, it's more complicated. And maybe it works for some people, maybe it does offer those opportunities and all that success. But yeah, probably a minority of folks. So the idea of the tourist, which I feel like, that's a nice little serendipitous connection to the band name and what I think is going on here in the song lyrically. Are you going to rest your head like that on my hand permanently? You are a weird one, Luca. But yeah, very enjoyable, and as I said, I enjoy the way Annie, she goes really deep and low, and she does some repeating vocals, which is obviously a very prominent and regular feature in the Eurythmics catalog. So yeah, I don't know the degree to which, she talks about her early life and being around music and singing, but yeah, I do wonder whether this is her, experimenting, trying things that would perhaps, again, become hallmarks of the Eurythmics catalog, or whether at this point she's already been singing with these, this wide range and experimental style even before the Tourist began, or before we get to the point of the recording of this song, which, again, I know they had a pretty short, finite lifespan, but I don't know exactly whether the tracks we're hearing here in the compilation are arranged chronologically, or if they're just, sort of all put onto the compilation irrespective of that. In any case, thank you once again to Phil. Let me know what you think, and Luca and I will see you next time. Peace.